Big Ten win. Doesn't matter how you get it, but they're all hard, and I think it showed tonight. Obviously Northwestern's really, really well-coached team. It executes and does their stuff, and they were able to execute on us for a really, really good portion of the game, and they made it hard on us. And we were not very together, not very energized early, and it took urgency and it took desperation to sort of kick us into gear. That helped our crowd, who is just waiting to cheer for something out there, it seems sometimes. And then once it got going, I thought we played a little harder. We had a group out there that competed, made a lot of hustle plays. There was a lot of deflected balls. We got in transition, and we were able to make the game, obviously tight. But being down 3 with them going to the line with 3:27 to go, our guys found a way, which is a good sign that group that was in there at the end of the game found a way to win it. And, we're going to take it. But very concerned with our group right now, just in terms of where our brains are, where our minds are, and what we're about. It can come and go with wins and losses. With a team like ours, with as many guys as we have trying to play and do things, we could really use a shot in the arm in terms of some consistency with some guys so they're playing more. But just looking at our team as we're heading into Saturday and then we move into this month of January, we've got to get ourselves out of a little bit of a funk, and we got to start competing a lot harder because this is the toughest league in America right now to win a game.
Talked about the energy kind of coming and going. How do you fix that as a group, and also who do you need to see in terms of specific players or positions kind of leading the charge on that on a game-to-game basis?
Yeah, I think I think as a team sometimes you can watch how plays deflate guys, and as a coaching staff and as a team, as you're trying to evolve and get better and you're pointing out things that you need to do to improve, and you see guys do the same certain things after the fact, game in and game out. It deflates you, and guys get frustrated. And you see the same things happening mistake-wise that, we're not making any improvement in that area, and it takes the camaraderie out of your group. They start to worry about themselves a little bit more. I think that's where we're at more than anything right now. We're just searching for ourselves again, rather than that unconditional approach and buy-in in terms of how hard it is to win a game and how fun it is to compete in that environment out there. But we're a little bit more conditional right now. We're a little bit more about ourselves. We got to figure that out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily know right now if the 11-guy rotation is going to work. I just don't necessarily know if that's our best thing moving forward, if we're not going to get all 11 heated up and playing as hard and as unselfish as we possibly can. It may be 5, maybe just 5. I don't know. But we're going to have to eliminate some of that, what are we getting, and understand, like, moving forward, we need to know what we're getting. And I think as a staff, as you're kind of coming in here right now, we can really take some of the confusion out by not worrying about playing. We'll just play as many guys as we need to play to win the game, and who's playing the hardest. Because you're not going to be able to compete against Ohio State or anybody after that or moving forward each and down the line as teams keep getting better if you're still standing in the same conversation. We got to get out of that, and we got to get better and get back to playing, team ball again and playing hard and not worrying about a whole lot. But we have a team that tonight, you could just tell very early how they started the game. Easy basket, easy basket, easy basket. That's not the MO how it's going to work.
I guess to that effect, though, I think 12 points allowed in the last 12 minutes. You had guys really getting up and pressuring the ball full court. Al was doing that, but even in the half court, it felt like just the defensive intensity
it went
really
up.
Took Northwestern
It was very
away.
desperate. I think once the staff, and obviously picking up full court at that point in time was necessary. We needed to jump start ourselves and get ourselves going. I thought Al, Armand were in there, Rob was in there a little bit. Those guys did a good job. They started to apply the pressure. That started to slow them down a little bit. And then we were trying to be as aggressive as we possibly could on the ball screens and whatnot, and we were active. We got some deflected balls, and they just weren't moving it as easy as they did in the first 30 minutes. And then we got some defense to offense. A big play was Al to Justin. Thought that was a huge conversion off the defense to offense. Al made a great lead pass. Justin finishes it and gets a 5-point swing, right back to even right there. That was a big play in the game. And Trace got some good deep rim runs. Al and Rob, and I think even Armand fed him a few times for some deep catches. He was able to get to the line. And I was proud of our guys going to the line. That's a big deal for our team, is getting fouled. We were able to get fouled in both halves. And we went into the line tonight and obviously needed every bit of it, but guys went to the line and made them tonight. Al was big, and Trace was big in terms of making free throws.
Coach, in a couple of those losses, you had to, kind of talk about, the heads hanging when adversity hit. But tonight, when you were down 50-40, what did you see anything different from them at all? Were they any more engaged than
We were at home. It helps. I mean, you got that kind of crowd behind you just waiting to burst. You give them a few things to cheer about, they'll help you. I mean, they really want to help you. You don't give them anything to cheer about, obviously they'll sit there, but we need to do a little bit more for them because obviously when they get rolling, it's a different place in there. And we need to do that. Our guys need to play more inspired and do more. But I thought the urgency in the huddles and some of the conversations the guys were having in that one break around 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, we started to look more about the competitive group that was in there that was having some success, started to get going. And, we're going to have to find that group to stay with them here a little bit longer here because it's the teams that you're playing against right now on a night-in-night basis. They're too good. You're not going to be able to be soft. You're not going to be able to not play well and turn it on. It's just not going to happen. But we fought through it tonight. Again, some tough spots, down 5, 3:27 to go. Made some really big plays.
I was actually going to ask about one of those huddles when you mentioned it's the under 12 timeout is obviously where everything seems to change, where you're down 10 and by the next one you're only down by 2. Obviously there was the strategic decision to pressure level. What was said in that huddle? What were guys saying? What were you saying to kind of get everybody woken up at that point?
I think just the group that was on the floor at that time, when we went to the pressure and the press, I think that got us going a little bit, and they were able to make a couple plays to get the score from 10 to whatever it was, 6 or 5 quickly. It wasn't a 10-point lead for a long time. So the fact that it was a workable margin gave us some confidence. And then we had some deflection passes. We had some hard hustle plays that kind of got us going. And once you get out in transition, you're able to get a couple things going for you. It was good. We didn't deflate ourselves at the foul line. That kept the momentum going. And then once we had a little bit of confidence, 8 minutes under, 6 minutes under, it was fine. Northwestern did a really good job. They hung in there. Miller Kopp hit a big 3. And I think A.J. Turner either got fouled or may have made a tough shot on Armand over there in the left corner, short corner. They made some big plays, but they run good stuff. They're young guys, and they got their best players are hurt right now, so it's tough on those guys. But, for us to be able to win the game is just a positive right now.
It was kind of a tale of two halves for Justin Smith. How did he manage to stick with it, and how did maybe you and the staff kind of encourage him to stick with it after all the turnovers in the first half?
I mean, he had a rough first half in terms of taking care of the ball, and had 5 turnovers at halftime. I think we jolted him at halftime about getting going. I don't think he had a bad attitude, and I don't think he was not ready to play. I just think he had some plays in there that were sloppy and it didn't go his way, and it deflated us. Those turnovers really hurt us. We had 5 turnovers in about a 4-minute stretch, which changed the game. Can't have that. But I thought in the second half he did a much better job on the offensive glass. 4 offensive rebounds. He's able to make some free throws. He ends up getting the 5 turnovers to stay put in the second half and played much better. But Justin's a key part of the team. One, our guys count for him in terms of knowing what he's doing on the floor. And, when he's not playing well or he is impacted by, some negative plays, it changes the complexion of our team. We count on him. And he can impact the game so many ways. And I think that we just need to bring his best to the table, and he's got to continue to be smart with the ball. I think that's in general our team tonight. Early in the game, when we were playing well offensively, we had some good passing. We had some really smart plays. We had some good sharing of the ball. Middle of the half, second half, or first half moves on, really sloppy with the ball and just unsure of ourselves. And I think part of it is right now we just have a lot of guys that are unsure of themselves. Over a 14 or 15 game span, you hope you can develop your chemistry and your rhythm. It just doesn't seem like our group is just locked in on, I do my job when I come in the game, and it just seems like we have some guys that are really unsure. I think that's why we have some turnovers. I think that's why we're playing lethargic defensively. So, like I said to them after the game, strength in numbers is only going so far right now. The number has to shrink, maybe, in my opinion, for some guys to maybe get a jolt. But like I said, we're going to have to find the guys that are ready to roll at the start of a game, that are ready to play like we need to play, and like our fans and our crowd and everybody wants to see. And nobody needs to see anybody jogging up and down the floor not playing hard. It's just not going to work. And it starts with practice. I think we've had good practices. We've had competitive practices. But on game day, we need production. And we're looking for effort and energy and hustle more so right now than we're looking for anything else. That's going to give us more confidence than we had, a couple weeks ago. But, you know, it's hard navigating deep waters. You lose a couple here and there. You lose confidence. What's wrong? Blah, blah, blah. And it can play a role. And that's when you need your older players and you need your most experienced guys to come ready to roll. And I thought, I give Al a lot of credit tonight. He played like a leader tonight. He did a really good job for us.
Last question, Jeff.
Coach, that final group that you went with, what was it that you saw? Kind of how did you make that decision? We're rolling with these guys down the stretch.
I just think that group had the best level of intensity and was playing the right way. And they had some defensive intensity that made some plays together. And we're able to get some things going in transition and on offense. And we're not moving the ball right now. We don't move the ball as a good basketball team. And we're fighting to pass. You know, when you're fighting to pass, and everybody in the team and on the bench and in the locker room knows it's the thing that we need to do better, and we're talking about it a lot every day, and the ball won't move, people look around and say, well, why isn't that happening? You know, we just worked on it. Well, then we got to get to figure out, like I said, who's not moving it. And then we move him on. And then we get somebody else in the game who will move it, because we're not moving the ball well right now. We're not a very sharp-oriented offensive team because of it, and we're turning it over, and we're unsure of ourselves. We need to get confidence in moving the ball and trusting what we're doing, and we need to get guys who believe in that, and then we'll be all right. And the competitive spirit of our group will get better. It's just, we got to punch through this wall right now, and we're struggling in a little bit of a rut, and we got to punch through that wall a little bit. And I will say, if you're not ready to go on Saturday, that's a problem.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Yep.